Who does not know the figure of Nelson Mandela? His struggle against and racial injustice made an iconic figure that is remembered today. How was Nelson Mandela's life journey? The person who was born on July 18, 1918. The charismatic figure Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela was born in the village of Mvezo, Transkei, in southeastern South Africa. Little Mandela grew up in the protection of the elders and chieftains. In 1930, when his father died, 12-year-old Mandela was transferred under the guardianship of Jongantaba, a regent of Raja Tembu who lived on the Great Place in Mqhekezweni. He then studied at Kunu. There, a teacher gave him the name Nelson, in accordance with school rules for students to be given Christian names. A wave of student protests prevented the young Mandela, who was pursuing a Bachelor of Arts degree at University College Fort Hare, from completing his studies. A wave of student protests prevented the young Mandela, who was pursuing a Bachelor of Arts degree at University College Fort Hare, from completing his studies.
The line of destiny has been chosen. The two decided to flee to Johannesburg in 1941. There, Mandela worked as a mine security officer and became a land agent.
In the end, he successfully completed his studies with a BA at the University of South Africa and returned to Fort Hare for his graduation in 1943. Subsequently, Mandela was actively involved in the anti-apartheid movement and joined the African National Congress, ANC, in 1942.
In the ANC, there is a small group of young Africans united, calling themselves the African National Congress Youth League ANCYL.
In 1949, the ANC officially adopted the Youth League method of encouraging mass grassroots movements to stage boycotts, strikes, defiance and non-cooperation. The movement aims to achieve a policy of full citizenship, land redistribution, trade union rights, and free and compulsory education for all children. This is where Mandela's struggle began. For 20 years, Mandela directed peaceful, non-violent action against the South African government and its racial policies. He founded the law firm Mandela and Tambo, which provided free, low-cost legal services to black people. This led to Mandela and 150 other people being arrested on charges of treason in 1956. In 1961, Mandela co-founded Umkhonto we Sizwe or MK, an armed branch of the ANC tasked with sabotaging and using guerrilla warfare tactics to end apartheid. He organized a 3-day national workers' strike. He again led a similar action the following year and was sentenced to 5 years in prison. In 1963, Mandela was brought to justice again. This time, he and 10 other ANC leaders were sentenced to life in prison for political offenses, including sabotage. For 27 years, Mandela spent his time in prison, from November 1962 to February 1990. 18 of those 27 years, he was imprisoned on Robben Island until he contracted tuberculosis. As a black political prisoner, Mandela received the lowest treatment. In 1981, South African intelligence agent Gordon Winter uncovered a plot devised by the South African government to orchestrate Mandela's escape. The authorities were able to shoot him during his arrest, but that scenario was thwarted by British intelligence. In 1985, President P.W. Botha offered to release Mandela provided armed resistance was stopped. The offer was rejected. Local and international pressure for his release continued to mount, leading the government to continue to discuss it but never reach an agreement. Botha also had a stroke, and Frederick Willem de Klerk stepped in to replace him. He then announced the release of Mandela on February 11, 1990. He also unblocked the ANC, removed restrictions on political groups, and suspended executions. In 1993, Nelson Mandela and President de Klerk were jointly awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. On the 27th of April 1994, South Africa held its first democratic elections. Nelson Mandela was elected as the first black president on May 10, 1994, when he was 77 years old. From 1994 to June 1999, President Mandela worked to bring about a transition from minority rule and apartheid to black majority rule. In 1996, Mandela signed a new constitution for the country, established a strong central government, and guaranteed minority rights and freedom of expression. True to his promise, Mandela stepped down in 1999, after only one term as president. However, he continued to work for the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund, which he founded in 1995. In addition, he also formed the Nelson Mandela Foundation and the Mandela Rhodes Foundation until his death on December 5, 2013 at the age of 95.